Hi everyone, my apologies for the delay in this video. This has been a really big month for me. I got engaged, I finished my dissertation, and I even got an exciting new job where I'll design educational science materials with some very cool people. I wasn't able to keep up my weekly schedule through all this, but I will do my best to stick to it going forward. This is the solution to episode 7, One Switch. The only way for our players to communicate is using the switch, and they need to arrange things so that one player knows for sure that all the others have been chosen. Let's choose this player up front and call them the counter. What we want is for the counter to receive a signal from each one of the other players saying that they've been in the room. Let's say that each player tries to flip the switch on once. Since there's only one switch, only one player can signal to the counter they've been in the room between each of the counter's visits. Each time a new player switches the switch on, it'll stay that way until the counter returns and can count it. The counter will turn the switch off every time they find it on and add 1 to their count. This way, once they get to 99, they know that everyone's been in the room. This strategy isn't fast, but it does work eventually. Is this the best we can do? Well, I did some reading and actually found a few papers about this problem. It seems that an ideal solution actually hasn't been proven yet. When you do the math, our approach here has an expected time of a little over 5 weeks. The best solution I found claims to take an average of about 2 weeks. How is this possible? Well, the problem with our first solution is that there are long stretches between the counter's visits where no one else can flip the switch and be counted. One improvement is to have multiple counters across 2 stages. In stage 1, some group of the players, let's say 10 of them, are all counters. They can each turn off the switch if it's on when they find it and count it up, but they only count up to 9 each. This way the counters come around to collect the messages much more frequently, and each one can then represent a total of 10 players who have visited the room. That's themselves and the 9 people whose message they've received by flipping off the switch. Now, after some amount of time, we can switch to stage 2, where only counters who have counted to 9 can flip the switch, and our single head counter collects their signals. So each time the head counter finds the switch on, they count 10. Because some of the counters from stage 1 might not have completed their counting, they can't actually flip the switch because it would be interpreted as a count of 10 even though they have less than 10 counted. So after a while, if the head counter hasn't reached 100 yet, we have to go back to stage 1 and hope that they manage to count the last few players. We continue this way until we win. There are a lot of variations possible here with different stages and plans for subcounters, and a lot of details around the edges, like for example I've left out that the head counter himself has to flip the switch so that the subcounters can actually get to 100. But some versions of this strategy are claimed to take about 2 weeks. When I first posted this problem a few weeks ago, I thought that the one counter solution was the best approach possible. I only looked into it further because it seemed a little bit inefficient and I thought there might be a way to optimize a little bit. But I was really surprised to see that there are entire papers about this problem with really interesting mathematical descriptions of the different approaches, and that a definitive solution actually isn't known yet. This just goes to show how even a relatively simple setup can lead to quite complex and interesting math challenges when you start looking for optimality. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out this week's new problem, cubes of cheese.